If you've ever had a show spoiled for you by someone who knew they were ruining it, and laughed anyway, then you know the kind of slow-burning rage I felt. Hit that like button. Subscribe if you love seeing karma delivered with precision, and buckle up, because this is the story of how I weaponized spoilers. And 1. I used to work in a comic book shop. You know, one of those sacred spaces filled with back issues, figurines, and the unmistakable scent of printed paper and vinyl. It wasn't just a job, it was a haven. The kind of place where fandoms felt safe. Where every conversation started with asterisk. Did you see last week's issue? Asterisk or asterisk. Are you caught up on season 4 yet? Asterisk. And because we had a loyal customer base, there were plenty of regulars. Most of them harmless, quirky, the good kind of weird. But one of them, he was that guy. Let's call him Mark. Middle-aged, smug, self-important. The kind of person who thinks correcting someone on a minor sci-fi detail makes him the smartest man in the room. He wasn't loud. He was worse. Asterisk subtly asterisk obnoxious. Always lingering too long. Smirking instead of smiling. One of those people who'd ask how your day was going just so he could interrupt and make it about himself. One week, Mark came in and we started chatting while I rang up his usual pull list. I casually mentioned I'd started rewatching Stargate's G1 from the very beginning. It was a nostalgic comfort watch. But I was also genuinely excited. I never saw the last 3 seasons, I said. Or any of the spin-offs. I can't wait to see how it ends. That was my mistake. Because the second I said it, his eyes lit up. Not with joy, but that look people get when they know something you don't. He leaned in and said, "Oh, so you don't know that backslash? Insert detailed finale spoiler here." He said it casually, like he was doing me a favor. Like ripping the ending out of my hands made him superior. Froze. "Whoa man, no spoilers." He shrugged, smirked, said something like, "Oh sorry, I thought you'd want to know." I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Maybe he really thought he was being helpful. I was wrong. Because the next week, he did it again. "So, where are you in the show now?" I was cautious, vague. Told him I was still working through season 7. He nodded, and spoiled something from season 9. "You'll love how backslash character dies." "Oh wait, you didn't get there yet." I laughed uncomfortably. "Seriously, Mark, don't spoil it. I want to experience it fresh." And that became our pattern. Week after week, he'd show up with that smug, too-pleased grin. Ask where I was in the series, then immediately drop a spoiler. Sometimes big, sometimes small. But always with that same condescending edge. And each time I'd remind him, "Please stop. You're ruining it." And each time he'd nod like he understood, and then do it again. Eventually I realized something chilling. He wasn't oblivious. He wasn't trying to connect. He was doing it on purpose. I started dreading his visits. I'd plan my breaks around his usual time just to avoid him. But it never worked. He always found a way to corner me behind the counter. He'd ruin arcs, reveal cameos, spoil character deaths. Every line out of his mouth was another small knife, cutting away at my enjoyment of a series I had been looking forward to for years. He had the power, and he loved wielding it. It wasn't just about the show anymore. It was about the principle, about basic decency, about the kind of social contract every nerd should live by. Thou shalt not spoil. But he broke it, repeatedly, and with pride. That's when I decided, enough was enough. You see, while Mark was busy spoiling my enjoyment, he forgot one thing. I read every single comic book in that store. And I don't mean a few here and there. I was the guy who read everything, Marvel, DC, Image, IDW. Every week like clockwork. I knew every twist, every death, every betrayal before it hit the shelves. Mark, he was a collector. He didn't read the spoilers online or binge review threads. He liked to savor his issues one at a time. Which meant I had ammo. One Friday, he came in to pick up his weekly pull list. It was a big stack, at least 15 new issues. Some highly anticipated releases. A few character-defining moments. One of them was the finale of a major crossover arc he'd been following for months. I rang him up. He was smiling that smile again. The one that said he had another spoiler locked and loaded. But before he could say a word, I locked eyes with him and said, "Hang on. Let me just bag these up for you." Then I fanned them out across the counter, one by one. Covers up, issues pristine. And then I started talking. "This one's wild. Did you expect with that sword? Oh, and this issue. That betrayal at the end. Brutal. Didn't see it coming. And this one. Can you believe they brought back just to kill them again?" One by one. Spoiler after spoiler. His smile collapsed into disbelief. Then horror. Then anger. "Dude, what the hell?" I didn't stop. I kept my tone chipper, matter of fact, like I was just making conversation. "It's crazy how ends up being the real hero, right?" He stood there frozen, comics half paid for, no bag in sight. And then, just like that, he shut up. He didn't say another word. He paid in silence. Bagged the comics himself. Didn't even make eye contact. And the next week, he came in. Bought his usual. But said nothing. No "how's Stargate going?" No spoilers. Not even a smirk. He'd been neutralized. And from that day on, every interaction we had was short, polite, and spoiler-free. The feeling wasn't loud. It wasn't explosive. It was quietly euphoric. Like finally scratching an itch you've had for months. Like breathing easy after holding your breath for too long. It wasn't just about getting even. It was about reclaiming something he had stolen. My agency. My joy. My control. Asterisk asterisk. I didn't scream. I didn't curse. I just gave him exactly what he gave me. And just like that, he stopped. For once, he was the one watching something precious be unraveled. Moment by moment, powerlessly. And that's the beauty of poetic justice. You don't always need to scream or punch. Sometimes all it takes is knowing the ending before they do. In a world of fandoms, spoilers are a sacred line. Cross it too many times, and someone just might cross it back. Let this be a lesson. Never underestimate the quiet guy behind the counter, because he just might know how your story ends. If this revenge story made you smile or cheer, smash that like button and share your favorite spoiler moment in the comments below. What's the pettiest but most satisfying revenge you've ever witnessed? And if you want more justice-filled tales, hit that subscribe button and join us for the next one. Because karma always has the last word.